Okay, so if you can't put the person with the worst rolls on gunner, you can't put them on pilot. You can't put them on. What do you put them on? All of the rolls are important.
You put me on something that isn't needed like every turn in combat, and then could just give extra. What was it? Command points? I think you could generate. Was it command points?
You saying you've got such bad dice, you should be a captain?
Yeah, basically.
Okay. We'll see next time we play Stars of Outnumber. But right now we're playing Dunder. So, do you guys want to go off to the Shining Blade?
Yes.
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 Yeah,
I think the best plan here is to try and get information just by talking, and if not, Serena can sing and try and.
I think the best plan is for Indira to seduce everybody one at a time.
Well, I was actually thinking if Vale and Gil just like stand in the center of the room and just flex, just like full on like Armstrong from Full Metal Alchemist.
God.
Okay, well that is an appropriate name for going where you're going. The directions you get lead you to a very fancy part of the city, a part you've rarely been in. Above the areas of markets, but fairly... the common cast of drow are nobles in any other city, because they are living off the backs of many other creatures. But above that, to where noble houses have their tall-spired buildings, to where fancy boutiques line the streets, to where street performances use pretty magic in their displays, to a building that stands quite proudly. The Shining Blade Tavern is not what you guys would imagine as a tavern. It kind of reminds you of the Silver Lining, and it's kind of a big, almost estate structure. But this almost is a bit more castle-like, with a couple of towers coming off of it in a big open space. There's a courtyard in the front, and in the courtyard is a very impressive stone statue of this dragon, whose wings are kind of curled over their front arms as they're grasping this figure that looks like the dragon is sculpting a drow, and the dragon was probably sculpted by a drow as well, so it's kind of a cyclical thing. There are a few people talking in the courtyard, but you can walk up the steps and enter the place where it's clear that this is not just a one-room tavern like many places on the side of the road. You look off to one way to a room filled with people eating and drinking and kind of chatting with wine. You look off to another way and there's just a big hall with people standing and talking and listening to glorious music that echoes through the halls. You can see signage that points in Elven to bathing chambers, to bathhouses, to locked-off conference rooms, to all sorts of things, and to hotel-like rooms for sale. This is a big place for not just important members of the blacksmithing guild, but also important merchants from other parts of the country who hold the keys to mines and the wealth within. So even though you haven't really seen much of it, you kind of get the impression that a lot of the drow around here are from different places, not just Narashiro, which is interesting. There are also a couple of dwarfs and gnomes around. Not a lot, but notable. You do see them.
Just want to point out, definitely wearing the mask and definitely wearing the elven finery I took from Medusa, just so I might fit a bit better.
Yeah.
Because that was drow style. And Serena will sort of half whisper under her breath. So, what is the plan? It is probably best that I remain silent until necessary. I can pretend that I only sing rather than speak.
I'm gonna look around and see if any of them are particularly boisterous or jovial.
Give me an insight roll.
Sure.
The general impression you get looking around, because Indira has great talent in looking around taverns to see who's a good prize, is not all that jovial. It's almost like a a fancy hotel bar where a lot of people are having sort of business discussions with a glass of wine. There's also a lot of people who are either bodyguards or mercenaries or representatives of slightly more shady businesses who are setting off in corners or standing with their weapons ready, or kind of with their hands on the hilt of their weapons in case something goes by. You don't notice anyone in the tavern areas who are particularly drunk, but over towards where music is being played, there's a few people who are a little more relaxed than the others, but not ridiculously sozzled.
Okay. I point to the people by the music, and I look at Serena and I say, I think we get them drunk. I think that's what.
We could certainly garner information from them. Was our target not the owner of the tavern?
It is, but we need to find them still.
Yes, valid.
We need people to not remember that we were asking questions. Need them to be willing to get drunk. So the
normal plan then.
The normal plan.
Alright. So you're gonna go and buy them some drinks or something?
Yeah, I'm gonna buy a bottle of spirits from the bartender. Like a whole bottle. How much does it cost?
2 gold usually for a bottle of anything, unless you want to go higher up the...
Never mind,
cost.
I spent all my gold on potions.
Guess I'm buying this.
Which is nice, because Indira points and talks, and Serena gives the money, because Serena can't talk to anyone here.
Yeah.
Which is always nice.
And then I'll grab the bottle, and I'll go sit down next to whichever one has the most open body language.
There's kind of 2 of them sitting side by side. But one of them appears to be a child, so probably not the one to give all the liquor to. But it's kind of, it is weird seeing drow children.
Probably not, but maybe.
No qualms on Indira's part.
Wow.
And they're clearly together. They're both male. The adult, who's still fairly young, kind of seemingly has the garb of an explorer. They don't look like a noble or a smith. They've got a traveler's cloak that's a little dirty, things like that. And they're kind of, you know, hands patting on the thighs as there's a troupe of performers who are playing here. They look pretty approachable.
Serena would also join next to Indira and would be sort of singing quietly, not words, just along with the tune, just to sort of relax everything and just join in, basically.
She sits down on her ethereal chair, stares at this one person permanently, and sits there going, and they're just like, oh god, jeez.
That would be an interesting thing if, like, as long as Serena is singing, they're charmed. They just has to keep doing it until you break or they break.
Yeah, I'm not using any abilities. I'm just singing. So.
No, just speaking words.
That would be cool, though.
All right, I would pull up a chair, like really close, so that kind of our thighs are touching.
Okay, yeah.
And then I would place one glass in front of him, the other in front of me, pour a lot in his, and then bring the other one close to me so that he can't notice that I'm pouring way less in mine.
Oh,
What
is the occasion for such jubilation?
Tough day at work.
Where is it a woman like you works? Kind of looking at you and how, like, small and...
I hunt. Clink.
He will clink and will down it and kind of be like... like, react.
She pours another one for him and another small one for herself, all silently.
hunt anything like cool? Like
Bats. Today was not my day.
They're quite tricky. I've been all over. Bats are everywhere, and they shit everywhere. You will look in a cave, almost always going to be bats.
Obnoxious. How difficult it can be to catch them. And don't get me started on the beetles.
Yeah, is there like even much money in rearing bats and drinks? Hunting bats?
Training them and selling them.
Oh, and I imagine you're here for like barding materials and saddles and things like that, right? Or do you just like it, I suppose? It's a free country.
Pour him another huge drink. Me another tiny one.
Can you please give me a persuasion roll for this one?
All right, sure.
Also, just so that maybe the child doesn't realize quite what's happening. Serena is sort of singing and trying to get them to join in a little bit.
She's gonna
be a persuasion for
meet
that.
the child.
He will take that shot, and he takes a bit longer to recover from that one.
I set mine down. And I say, actually, friends of the owner of this place. Have you seen her?
I don't think that's like the rumor, right? That she's faded. Like no one's seen her, right? That's what they say.
To this particular establishment, interesting.
Well, someone can fade in like a month if it's really
Absolutely.
bad. I've heard all sorts of rumors about stuff that went on, you know, a few hundred years ago and things. It wasn't even that long. Would have been when a daimao went into power. It's not that long ago.
I pour him another one, not as big as the ones as.
Don't want to kill him.
What about the new owner? It had to have gone to somebody, right?
Oh, I think she's faded, but she's like still here. She's not gone, and there's no one's taken her off to a mausoleum.
Creepy, crazy drow in the attic. No.
So in her old room, then.
Yeah. If you know where her private room is, which is it's got to be in one of the towers, probably. You can buy one of the tower rooms. So it's probably the second tower room, or the first. Whichever one you can't buy, she's probably in. 'Cause you can't buy the one she's in, because she would be in it. A probably crazy old lady at this point, which...
Last time I was here, she was redoing the floors, so she was staying in the cellar, you know.
Well, she might be in the cellar, but I'm pretty sure the cellar is very, very guarded. Because anyone could just waltz in and try and steal, a 1,000-year-old bottle of Southern vintage, and then you'd... That's like 5,000 gold just gone. Just because someone... It's like, oh...
All this time, Vale and Gil have been like sitting in the bar, and Vale is giving this person evils. There's like a dark aura coming from that side of the room.
The kid he's with kind of like tugs on his shoulder, and in Elvish is like, "Don't you think you've had enough?" He's like, "Oh, I mean, the woman wants to buy me drinks, wants to share. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, and the chances." Your operational effectiveness is diminished when you are heavily inebriated.
Operational?
Oh, yeah, well, I'm like, we're not doing anything right now, but you never know.
Always on call.
Yeah.
What is it you do?
I'm an explorer, you're right. So, when people find like new caves, especially when like a tunneling beast has been through, they send like us in to see if there's anything good in there, like monsters that can be hunted, or ores mostly in like crystals, or like links and pathways or shortcuts, things like that. So sometimes there's business in the city because some like really deep in like the bog slums, sometimes tunneling beasts get around through there. But like nothing big, like a big worm or anything, or like a task or anything, you know, it's...
She starts to like rub a finger up and down his forearm and is just like, that sounds very exciting.
It's very like heroic work. Lots of danger.
I can see why they send you. And then she'll like lock eyes with the kid and be like, you two. You look very strong.
The kid who's like, just like hooded up and cloaked up, just kind of like nods, like, yes, I am.
Is it, just to clarify, is this a drow? This is a drow child, even though like they're hiding. They are, yeah.
Yeah, no, like they're not hiding. They're just wearing a hood. They're not like hiding their face with a hood. They're just, which is seemingly, you know, quite common.
No, fair enough. It's just the way that they were speaking almost put me in mind of a Duros for a moment. But
Dira's gonna hand the kid her glass of spirits. Be like, a little won't hurt you.
You can give me a persuasion roll. Persuasion roll for convincing minors to drink. That's good enough because they're a kid. And they will do the sort of like gingerly sip. And they're like, this is I do not understand why grown-ups drink such things. And then the guy's like, you shouldn't say that too loud. You'll get lashings for even suggesting that the choices of adults are inappropriate. I remember.
I'll kind of get down to his level. I'll say it makes the music more fun, and then tip it up so that he drinks.
This is just the day of shady things happening in this party. But yeah, the kid will drink until there's nothing else left and be like, it's like it's hot, but it's liquid. It's like, yeah, buddy.
Also
it's
cold at the same time, right?
It's like everything. It's like music and like real. It's the real stuff. That is.
I'll just whisper to Vale and be like, oh, she's intoxicating children. She's intoxicating children.
I don't think this is right. What do we do?
And then she'll grab the hand of the child and a father and be like, well, it's time to dance.
Oh, yeah, and this is a lesson you should learn early when a good standing woman offers you to dance. The answer is yes. And we'll kind of... he stands very awkwardly. He like nearly falls into you.
When they all stand up holding hands, Vale's like, she's not. No, they're not going to.
Yeah, she's going full Indira R. Kelly on them.
A story so dramatic it travels between dimensions.
I just want to get their blood pumping so that they get really drunk.
No, I get it. Performance roll.
Sure.
I assist by singing, continuing to sing along.
That doesn't really affect.
I'm trying to do something.
I know, but
you got the bottle. Also, I feel like my performance doesn't really matter all that much. Right?
I want to do something, not just be a bank.
Not just be a bag that blows shit up when required.
That's a very useful ability.
It is.
The guy is like really into it, really. But the kid is like, he dances with you for a little bit, and like as soon as he gets the chance, he kind of very shyly scuttles away to the side of the room by one of the windows, and we'll just kind of like sit there.
Okay. And then I will lean on my dancing partner, and I'll say, I'm afraid I've had too much. Get dizzy and fall.
Oh, he will try to catch you. And succeed. It's not it's not graceful. But he does. Nearly falls with you.
What good man.
Yeah.
My hero.
I'm
I
going
need to
across and
go
keeping an
sit
eye
at
on
the
the
bar.
kid. Just for reference.
I think I'll go sit at the bar for a bit, but
Yeah,
please enjoy
let's...
the rest of that
that's
bottle.
when he, let me keep you company. You could tell me more about bats.
Sure, grab the bottle.
He does, and we'll go off over to the bar and sit right next to Gilwyn. Doesn't know. And put the
So
ball down
Gillen
and
just
kinda
leans
look
forward
at
and
it.
goes, he doesn't like you.
I don't like you either.
Because we haven't had enough Star Wars references today.
It was too good.
No, I know it. I respect it.
And then Indira pulls out a lightsaber and cuts my hand off.
It was all illusion.
I'm just gonna do what I can to get him passed out drunk as fast as possible.
Okay. You don't even have to roll for that. That
You
doesn't
just
take
poison the
much
poor boy.
difficulty at all.
It's not like he's got a small child to look after or anything. Psh,
Oh, he's next.
no.
The kid is next.
No.
But yeah, this guy is like kind of half asleep on the table, like still conscious, but like
Do you have a room that I can help you get to?
Yeah, I do. I have it's number 13.
And I will look over to Serena. And then 10-3 hobble him off to his room
Yep.
with the bottle in my hand.
Okay.
This is fucking disgraceful, Gilwyn. Like, what? What have we come to?
Egret and Hansel would never do this.
Exactly. Right? Like, killing a man, maybe, but not.
Oh yeah, you did do that.
I was technically Vale then, so Hansel wouldn't, I don't think. He's quite a friendly, amiable guy.
You preserved the integrity of your character. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
You
What
only
is
tarnished your
Serena?
own real
What
reputation.
is Serena doing? These chuckle nuts are chatting about shit this whole time.
Now, I've got to ask this here because as Ian, I do not 100% understand Doctor's intention, but Serena and Indira's intention. Does Indira want Serena to bring the kid or come alone or just
Bring the kid.
bring the kid? I thought as much. I did just want to check.
To her. She just grabs her wrist and drags her off.
But Serena would just because has the kid been watching or have they been looking out the window?
The kid's been looking out the window.
Okay, Serena would sort of tap the kid on the shoulder and point at Indira and the guy going towards their room and would sort of nod and sort of motion to lead
Oh,
him.
they will get up and start moving quite a lot quicker.
Serena will slither behind them.
When you do that, can you give me a just charisma roll? Straight car.
Charisma?
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Okay. The kid keeps looking back at you. And we'll get up to the room shortly after you two. And we'll close the door in Serena's face.
As soon as I had gotten into the door, I would have poured more of the spirit into a glass.
Killing the poor
I've
man.
got you some water. This will help you to feel better.
That's a deception.
Okay.
100%. Yeah, this was the wrong day to give them the good characters tag. You've done a lot of shady shit. I thought, oh man, you're gonna like stop this robbery and be really good today. Nah. And he's like, oh yeah. And that's when like the door closes and the kid's in and he takes the drink.
No,
and
I
then...
was talking to the kid.
Oh, to the kid?
Oh my
The kid will
God.
take it and will drink it. That's not water.
I just push it up And it's going down his mouth. It's going down.
Presumably the door isn't locked, so I
No.
can just open it and go in.
Yes.
Sort of like
The
stand
kid
in
will be forced to drink the vodka, essentially, and will kind of slump down to the ground, kind of dizzy-headed.
Don't worry,
will
it's only stunted
pick him
their
up.
mental and physical development.
Put him next to his dad, tuck them both in, and go back out. And presumably find Serena.
Yeah, I mean,
Serena's, like,
as I
right
say,
there.
Serena came in and was blocking the door just in case.
Okay, owners, well, as soon as we get outside. Owners in one of the towers. She might be crazy, but that's the information that I have.
And how many towers are there, did he say?
We may have to purchase a room in the other tower.
Well, I would like to think that will not...
Require to see it before we decide to purchase it.
What did you do with the people?
I laid them in bed, tucked them in.
Serena nods.
Okay.
Not a monster.
Isn't this information you could have just gotten from them without getting them deadly drunk?
Do we want them to remember that I got this information from them? Do we want them to remember me?
Are you sure that they're going to forget because they're drunk? Some people don't forget because they're drunk.
Tongues are freer with alcohol anyway.
I mean, like, maybe the child was a bit too far?
I don't think you're allowed to judge today, Vale.
I was getting that drunk at that age. I'm fine.
No, you are not. Oh, Indira, you are... there's a... I really like you, but there's a lot of things wrong with us.
She'll put one finger up against his mouth and just like bat her eyelashes at him and be like, "There's nothing wrong with me."
Don't fall for it, Vale.
She's totally crazy, but I like it. Yeah, sure, whatever. But just saying that's child's... Yeah. That is... To be fair, I just like, let's clear something up. I can judge this because I didn't force that man to do anything, alright? He just did it, you know?
Like, because two people don't know what this ominous,
And
shady conversation is about.
What was the alternative? That monster would have eaten him slowly, crunched him to bits.
I'm gonna go inquire about the tower room. I will ask if we can see it before we purchase it, and then we just don't purchase it.
Why don't you ask over the bar?
I will go to the bar.
You, the bartender will give you their attention, of course.
Hi. I was wondering, I heard that the tower room here is quite lovely. Was hoping that maybe I could take a look at it.
That's a persuasion. If there was, a trade skill in this version of D&D, that would be a good one. But it's just a persuasion.
Persuasion.
It kind of gives you a bit of a sideways look and says, "That room is only for international delegates and guild members. Do you have a guild membership that I can see?"
No, but I'm certain that I could bring one up with me later.
That's a DCEP roll.
Is it? Because I think that Indira could probably...
Yeah, yes, but that's basically saying, I am a member of the guild. So even if you do intend, even if you're like, yeah, I can probably get one. I'll find some ID. Like, he just kind of starts moving away and will say, we have plenty of other rooms available that are not restricted to guild members.
was quite intent on a beautiful room.
Oh, the others are all quite beautiful. I
was quite intent on the most beautiful room.
Oh, as are many, but the most beautiful things in the world are exceedingly expensive. That is the business that we are in here. Is it not?
Money is no object. I'd like to gaze upon the beauty of the room before I purchase it.
This room is 1,000 gold a night. Can you present such money?
Just like Vale, just like...
I'm glad Serena can't understand this.
You insult me.
That is not my intent. And I apologize
Is a
for that.
pittance.
Well, then I would like to see some proof of this before we discuss this further. You understand that I am not the owner of this establishment, nor do I have people to report to. So I would like some proof that you could pay for the room before showing you it.
I would like to speak to one of them. One of the people that you report to.
I'd like to speak with your manager. She comes down with someone on her lead.
They nod and just sort of like drift away behind the bar.
And I turn to my party and I'm like, this is not going well.
What is the obstacle?
1,000 gold right now.
Serena would just like pull out 1,000 gold, but she has. It's like, I hope I'm getting that back.
You are, I promise.
Are you sure you want to waste 1,000 gold?
We're not going to use it.
So now our low profile job is to steal a night in an extremely expensive inn.
We're not going to take the room, Phil.
Just
find out which tower it's in, so that we can go into the other one and speak to the owner.
Okay, well, I'll go for a piss then. He gets up and pretends to drunkenly stumble off the way that
dude did.
Yeah.
You don't know his name. He has a name.
I just want to check if because we don't know the structure of this bar. Like, I don't suppose we can see the towers out of any of the windows or anything. It's not like
windows.
That big.
You saw towers when you were outside walking up.
Okay. Right, fair. No.
I was just wondering. There were two towers, one on either side.
Yeah, I was just wondering if we could look out a window and see if one of them was like lit or lived in. But that would probably be a long shot.
Not out of these windows.
Down this corridor, there are the normal rooms left and right.
Yeah, when you're in a place where rooms are, yeah, there's rooms left and right.
Are there any of the stairs up in this corridor?
I don't know where you got the idea of there being a specific corridor in. Yes, there are ways up and into further places in the tavern.
Right, so well, I'm saying that when you go off to the rooms, it's not just in the same room as the tavern.
Yeah, this is a very large tavern with like wings to it. The rooms would be in several different parts depending on what type of room you get. In several different places.
Okay.
Just like how there's not just one room in the tavern, there's several different ones doing different things. And
having a little wander, presumably through corridors that are lined with doors.
Yeah, most
and rooms in between.
Those nice little comfortable rooms you can sit and no one actually sits in unless you're like a very rich businessman reading the Financial Times.
Are there like staircases periodically at all, and are they like bouncers, guards?
You don't see anything in the way of guards. Occasionally you see sort of the attendants of the tavern, which are armed. So, I mean, I guess they're guards. But they're not standing at, any particular place. They kind of, occasionally just sort of brush through the corridors and will kind of give you a nod. When you kind of wander around, there are stairwells up to on both sides of the building. There are stairwells that would seemingly go up to the towers, but those, it's kind of like a spiral. And when you go up like 1/4 spiral, there's a locked door.
Okay, cool. Vale will come back then. Now he's ascertained that, because...
At this point, The manager comes back, who is a older drow woman with her hair up in a ornate bun, who will give you a bow and will say, "I am sorry for any inconvenience. This is about ordering the tower room. I understand that you are not interested in ordering and merely want to look into such an establishment. You understand that we must see proof of intent to purchase first, because it would be very possible for a thief to convince us that they would want to spend a night in one of our rooms to case the joint out for a job."
Why would somebody with 1,000 gold coins need?
Do you have 1,000 gold?
I sigh, like impatiently, and drop the pouch.
They will kind of like
Don't know if I really even
the top
want
of it
room
and
in
look
this
inside.
establishment anymore, with the amount of insults to my wealth and my importance.
I do not believe you have been insulted so far, but I do apologize if you believe that to be the case. It seems that you do have the current currency to afford a night in the room. If you would still be interested in the tower room, we can take you on a tour of the suite up there now.
I'd like to see it. And then I'll swipe the gold back up.
Yeah. They will kind of motion and say, "Well, please, come with us."
Wow, she has like 2 modes. It's like flirt or anger.
They will take you up to one of the towers, unlock the door, with a little motion of almost like sigilistic runic magic. Opens up and starts showing you around the tower room, which is 4 stories of very fancy suite. Decadence beyond anything you've ever been in, and you've been in some decadence. It's resplendent in here, and you can see the other tower across from the vast windows that it has.
It doesn't bore me.
Would you be interested in ordering it for a night, or perhaps reserving it for a future night when you're in the city?
I shall collect my husband, and if
Oh no.
he's agreeable to the description of this room, then we'll be back.
They kind of give you a bit of a quizzical look, which you understand to be, why would a drow woman ever ask their husband's opinion of anything? But kind of like motion down the stairs for you to go off and find them. Back to the
Once
party.
I'm alone with the party, I'll be like, okay, that's the tower we need.
That not the tower that we do not need.
Yeah, she can point to the other one.
Point to the
Yeah.
other one.
Okay.
Because there's only 2 towers, she can, yeah.
Oh, okay, there are only 2 towers. Okay, fair
Yeah.
enough. Yeah, okay.
And I give you your gold back.
My gratitude. So, shall we make haste then before they... unless you knocked them out up there or similar?
I did not. We need to figure out how to get to that tower.
Vale saw that there was locked doors. And you saw that they were magical.
Magic look.
Well, we could find a unwatched window and fly up there from there. At least some of us could. Risky, but expedient. I do not know, did the tower rooms have windows in them that we could easily get through?
Did it?
It had windows, but they weren't openable. You know? They're big, fancy, huge planes of glass. You know?
Yeah, what's the point of opening the window?
They would
down
have
here in the
had both
Underdark?
towers would have balconies, actually, to be fair. So there would be a balcony to land on.
There's a balcony. Any other window, we'd have to break.
We think there's someone in there.
Yes.
Actually, I believe that the majority of us have some way of getting through. As long as we can see the other side of a window, we should be able to get in. Yes?
I can get in.
I can as well.
As long as I can get up.
Perhaps it is worth simply trying the door first?
Perhaps, but I thought the difficulty was that they were locked and, well, and not locked easily either.
Not the kind that you can break, Vale.
Did they draw the sigil on the way out?
Did they?
That's kind of an arcana check to know if you can recognize that kind of thing. Especially in the past.
Oof.
They cast a spell on the door.
I guess I wasn't really paying attention on the way out. That's my fault.
I could dispel it if it's a magical lock or something.
Perhaps that might work.
I can also, if I can get up there, maybe eavesdrop.
Why
Room.
don't we wander up towards the tower we want to see? Exploring the tavern, as it were, enjoying the sights, the artwork. And then when we reach the appropriate door, we have several attempts. We can either attempt to dispel, or I doubt it would work with the one the mad lady is locked in. I was going to suggest it might open easier from the inside, and it might be able to do that, but I doubt that would be the case if they've locked her away.
Not even be mad, Vale.
Hmm?
I mean, a drunk man said that she's fading.
Right, yeah, but
If she was that far gone, wouldn't she have gone on that grim parade?
fading is a it is usually a slow thing for elves on the surface. Perhaps it can be slow for elves down here too, and they treat it with the greatest of shame.
While this conversation is interesting, I believe we probably have to move. They will not, if they are not knocked out up there, they will presumably wonder where you have gone.
I told them I'd be back later.
All right, let's go
We
find
should go.
this door then.
And you know what we can do? That next week. Hey.
All aboard the really long break train. Wah, wah.
1 week or two, who knows?
Going to bed is the stream.
Not yet, because first we need a little pillow talk about what we do in life and what we believe in. Starting with Neil, a man I believe in.
Hi, I also believe in me.
That's my boy.
I believe in the me that Ollie believes in. It's anime.
I know.
Hey, I'm Neil. You can find me at naghai_ on Twitter or at naghai on the Discord, which you should join. The link is down below. The Discord's a lot of fun. We have a lot of chat about the games, and I noticed there were a couple of questions about D&D on the whole. It's also a great place to get information about that sort of thing.
because it's not only us playing 5e, but there are people on that server who have played really old editions and stuff like that. Good. Lots of different opinions, so it's good for that kind of thing.
And you can find me here on Wednesdays. And earlier, you can find me at 1:30 BST on twitch.tv/DaleRick, where I'm in a Pathfinder Kingmaker game, which is Kingmaker the rules, not Kingmaker the module. And it's very different, but fun nonetheless.
Someone else who's very different but fun nonetheless is Dean Cuddy. Why don't you talk about the very important things in your life?
2 bumholes. He has 2 bumholes. That's the.
Ooh.
Hello, everyone.
I wanna say that the image that came to mind was like one of those ice cream machines that has like 2 nozzles. So
You're talking froyo, dude.
I got a very creative mind.
They call me Mr. Whippy.
That is
Nice.
not a good nickname.
It's a great name.
Hi, I'm Dean Cutty. I will start making videos again on my YouTube channel.
Really?
I don't
Yes.
believe it. But your reviews are like some of the best game reviews, video essays, I suppose, out there.
They're
So
good
I would
content.
like
There's
that
only
again.
one thing missing though. It's like he doesn't
Thanks, Ollie.
say he loves me at the end of every one.
That would be a cute.
I think we know what the fans want, Dean.
It's not going to be the usual stuff. It's going to be something different and new, hopefully.
Exciting. Did anything big and important come out recently that we would like to talk about?
Not the poo you had earlier.
The size of Indira it was.
Spotify, iTunes, Bandcamp. Just search Dean Cutsforth and you will see a brightly coloured album. Go listen to it. It's
good
free on
art.
Spotify. Enjoy.
Enjoy.
Someone I enjoy is Ian.
You left that like.
I was trying to
just
decide,
unnaturally
you
long.
know. Someone else
hello?
who's unnaturally long is Ian.
Okay, yes, that works. Hello, I am Ian, coming to you from a completely different place from normal today, which is also.
You can tell it's one of your parents' places because of the painting behind you. That is parental artwork.
That's fair. It's also the cause of the unstable internet, which had me apparently holding my mouth open like a fish on stream for half of it.
Yeah,
Very surreal.
but you are a fish, so it's okay.
So apologies if I missed anyone talking to me in chat because I had to jump out of it halfway through because the internet was just being so terrible. But yeah, join the Discord, follow Ollie on Patreon if you want to hear me and Neil playing completely different characters or some Friday game that is a thing as well.
Some Friday game that is a thing. Sorry, boys.
And someone else who's a thing as well is Doxy.
I am a thing.
Got anything you want to talk about today?
Not really. You can follow me on Twitter where I complain about how I don't get to stream enough anymore because I had to get a real person job. That's about it. Twitter.com. ZER.
Sounds riveting. I'll be sure to follow.
I don't know. Sometimes I post pictures of my cleavage and stuff. You're interested in that?
Be gone.
I don't.
Well, last and most certainly not the least, because I'm the best of you, is me. I've been working real hard on some really big stuff coming down my pipe to you soon. But until then, we have a lot of D&D to play. There's this show at 7 every week. That's just not true. And if you like this show, the sister show, which stars Erin, who has been sassing in chat all session, is on Sundays at midnight BST. That is happening in the same place, but they are citizens of Narashiro, so they see the world in a very different light. One show is not complete without the other. If you like what I do, you can support us on Patreon. The Monday show is always a great time. We have a lot of conversations about it on the Discord. Because it's a bunch of my friends and lovely people, and Discord is basically that. So please join. And Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays, we are continuing to try and beat one optional boss fight in Hollow Knight until I break. Or until I eventually break and just play poker and Red Dead for an entire evening, which is also a good option. I also might... My current plan after we finish Hollow Knight is maybe playing Breath of the Wild in hard mode. That could be fun. So we'll see. If you like fun, hang out with me. And that's my bit. Go home.
Where?